Hi and welcome back everyone, me Robert here. I've just developed a new Huggingchat extension that allows you to talk with your company's documents and data through Huggingchat. I've named this extension aitomChat, and in this video I will give you a live demo and an architectural overview of the solution. You will learn everything from the chat UI to the inference and the retrieval augmented generation. This approach works with multiple documents of nearly all types, and the best thing is everything runs locally in your private cloud and you don't have to upload your data to a remote API. So if you think that sounds interesting, consider giving a like and subscribe. Now without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, let's do a quick live demo. Here you can see the aitomChat user interface, which is a Hugging Face extension that allows you to talk with your documents. This is basically the Huggingchat UI, so you can switch the theme here, for example. I've chosen the dark mode since I think you can see this better. The difference to Huggingchat is that you have an additional toggle here, search documents, which enables the model to generate answers from your provided documents. So I click here, but I disable it again because we will start without this function. Here you can see a document that I've ingested into the vector store. It is the speech of the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. It covers several topics, however it appears that it isn't really very well structured. Now let's switch back to aitomChat and see which information we can get out of it. But first we will not enable the search documents button here so that we can see the difference. So for now we just ask the Llama 270B parameter chat model in the Hugging Face format that I run locally on my virtual machine, and we ask summarize your content, and then we hit enter. And it answers with I'm just in AI, so basically the model tells you that it has no information about the content you are referring to. So now we create a new chat here and we enable the search documents function here. Now we ask the same question again. Summarize your content, and then we hit enter. And you can see that the answer comes in nicely word by word, respectively token by token. And we can see that the model now refers to the specific content provided in the document. Now let's ask more specific questions regarding to the content. We ask, did they deliver over 90% of the political guidelines? And we hit enter. And the answer is yes. According to the text provided, Ursula von der Leyen stated that we have delivered over 90% of the political guidelines. Now let's have a look into the document to see if this information is correct. I open the document again and I search for 90%. And here we can see that the document says, and thanks to this parliament, we have delivered over 90% of the political guidelines. Now let's create a new chat. And now we ask, which three pillars does von der Leyen mention regarding to AI? And basically the model answers guardrails, governance, and guiding innovation. Now once again, let's look into the document. Now I search for pillars in the document. Pillars. And here you can see that indeed the three pillars are guardrails, governance, and guiding innovation. Now let's have a look into the architecture of the solution. Here on the left side you see the user interface. In the center you see the text generation inference from Hugging Face. And here on the right hand side you can see the Retrieval Augmented Generation, which basically allows you to talk with your documents. So in a regular Huggingchat environment, the user enters the user query here in the user interface, and this information is sent to an endpoint on the Huggingface text generation inference server, which runs the large language model and which streams back the response to the user interface. On the other side, with aitomChat, you get this additional Retrieval Augmented Generation, which splits your documents into smaller chunks, and then it creates embeddings from these chunks. These embeddings are basically number representations of these chunks, and then it stores these embeddings, these number representations, into a vector store. Now when a user clicks here on Search Documents here on the left hand side, the user query gets sent to an endpoint, to a streaming endpoint here on my Retrieval Augmented Generation server. And then this user query here also gets converted into a number representation, into an embedding. And then it asks the vector store for similar embeddings with a similarity search. If it finds similar embeddings, it returns the corresponding chunks back as context. Then it sends the user query and the context, but also a streaming API callback handler to the large language model here on the inference server. Since we provided the streaming API callback handler to the large language model now can send back the response to our Retrieval Augmented Generation server. Here the tokens run through a generator which allows us to stream the response back to the UI. But before we can send the tokens back to the UI, we have to run them through a format converter which converts them into a Huggingchat compatible format with server sent events. So that's all for today. If you like this content, please don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, also the notification bell below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.